In January 2026, Minneapolis was thrust into crisis when the Trump administration sent 2,000 federal agents to the city, a move that stunned residents and city officials alike. The sudden influx of heavily armed personnel marked a dramatic escalation in federal involvement, and the city's atmosphere shifted overnight. The operation specifically targeted the city's Somali community, under the stated purpose of immigration enforcement. Families who had called Minneapolis home for decades now found themselves under intense scrutiny, with federal agents questioning, detaining, and searching homes in predominantly Somali neighborhoods. The city felt occupied, not protected, as agents patrolled with intimidating authority, stoking fear and resentment. Streets that once bustled with daily life now echoed with uncertainty, and neighbors watched from behind curtains, unsure of what might happen next. Tensions erupted when two American citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preti, were killed during a federal operation, an event that shocked the nation. The circumstances surrounding their deaths were murky, but the impact was immediate and profound, leaving the community reeling. Their deaths became a symbol of federal overreach, transforming political debate into personal tragedy for many. Vigils sprang up across the city, and the names Renee and Alex became rallying cries for justice and reform. News of the killings spread rapidly, igniting outrage and galvanizing people across the country. Social media exploded with calls for accountability, and national news outlets descended on Minneapolis to cover the unfolding crisis. The incident was seen as a direct assault on civil liberties, sparking urgent questions about federal power and the rights of citizens. Activists, lawyers, and ordinary people demanded answers, and the city became a focal point for a growing national movement. The stage was set for a nationwide confrontation, not with violence, but with the power of protest and a demand for accountability. Minneapolis, once just another American city, now stood at the heart of a struggle for justice and the future of civil rights in the country. Minneapolis responded immediately, with spontaneous gatherings fueled by grief and anger. Protesters demanded justice for Renee and Alex, a transparent investigation and accountability for those responsible, regardless of federal status. They called for the immediate withdrawal of federal agents, viewing them as an occupying force, not protectors. "Feds go home" became the rallying cry, echoing through the city. Protesters urged local and national leaders to condemn the federal action and launch formal inquiries. Their movement quickly evolved into a broader fight for civil rights and democratic principles. The people of Minneapolis made it clear, government must serve the people, not rule them through fear. Their demands were a warning to those in power. Never again should a city endure such overreach. The protests that began in Minneapolis quickly ignited a spark that spread across the entire nation, transforming a local outcry into a powerful nationwide movement for justice and accountability. Social media platforms and relentless news coverage amplified the message, allowing images and stories from the streets to reach millions in real time, inspiring people far beyond the city's borders. Solidarity rallies erupted in cities from coast to coast, uniting Americans from all walks of life, urban and rural, young and old, under a common cause. The movement was decentralized and resilient, with no single leader at the helm, just a groundswell of popular dissent, fueled by ordinary people determined to make their voices heard. Protesters everywhere chanted the names of Renee and Alex, demanding justice and an end to authoritarian tactics, their voices echoing through city streets and town squares alike. The diversity of the crowds, students, veterans, families, even disillusioned conservatives, made it clear this was no fringe cause, but a movement that cut across political, generational, and cultural lines. The protests became a visible, undeniable rejection of federal overreach, and a passionate call for a return to democratic norms and civil liberties. Civil disobedience, sit-ins, and organized economic boycotts intensified the pressure on the administration, showing that the movement was strategic as well as passionate. The crisis dominated headlines and news cycles, making it impossible for the White House to shift the narrative or downplay the scale of dissent. The nation's unified voice, echoing from city centers to small towns, was now impossible to ignore, a force demanding change. The Trump administration tried to dismiss the protests as radical theatrics, but the sheer scale and diversity of dissent made that narrative untenable. Political pressure mounted, with Democrats and some moderate Republicans demanding investigations and accountability. The looming midterm elections heightened the stakes as the crisis threatened the administration's political future. Behind closed doors, the White House realized the cost of maintaining the federal presence was too high. Quietly, the administration announced the withdrawal of federal agents from Minneapolis. It was a clear retreat, forced not by rivals, but by the collective will of the people. The protesters had proven their power, greater than the presidency itself. News of the federal withdrawal sparked relief and celebration in Minneapolis and beyond. The city, which had been tense for weeks, erupted into cheers as people poured into the streets, embracing one another and lighting fireworks. For many, it was a moment of hope after so much uncertainty and fear. Protesters saw it as a hard-won victory, proof that their voices mattered. Their determination and unity had finally paid off, and the sense of accomplishment was palpable in the air. Democrats hailed the retreat as a triumph for the rule of law. They praised the courage of those who stood up and demanded justice, calling it a testament to the power of peaceful protest and civic engagement. Republicans were largely silent, exposed by the political fallout. Some appeared visibly uncomfortable, while others avoided reporters altogether, unwilling to comment on the administration's reversal. The media framed the event as a turning point, crediting grassroots activism for forcing the administration's hand. Headlines across the country highlighted the power of collective action and the significance of the moment. In Minneapolis, the focus shifted to healing and demanding legal action against those responsible for the deaths. Community members gathered for vigils, honoring the lives lost and vowing to keep fighting for justice. The victory was just the beginning. Organizers pushed for lasting change and accountability. Meetings were held, strategies discussed, and the movement's leaders made it clear that their work was far from over. The scars of occupation remained, but so did a renewed sense of empowerment. The city bore the marks of recent turmoil, yet hope and determination were visible on every face. The people had set a precedent. United, they could hold even the most powerful to account. Their actions would echo far beyond Minneapolis, inspiring others to believe in the possibility of real change. The Minneapolis protests became a defining moment for American democracy. Their success lay in building a broad, persistent coalition with a clear message: justice and an end to federal overreach. The movement proved that nonviolent protests could check presidential power and inspire future activism. The public's rejection of militarized federal action set a new precedent, reminding leaders that their authority depends on the people's consent. The protests will be remembered as a victory for democracy itself, not just a political party. The legacy of Renee Good and Alex Preti endures, a testament to the power of collective action in the face of injustice. In the end, the people's voice proved to be the most powerful force for change.